Hey there, sickos! Happy New Year! I hope 2023 was great to all of you. Hopefully lots of highs and not too many lows. Here's hoping that 2024 brings wonderful things to all of you. Now, I thought I would do a quick video basically giving you my top 5 releases of 2023. So that's what this video is all about. And again, thank you guys so much for the support over the past year. You guys have been awesome. I appreciate all of it. So these are in no particular order except for my number 1 spot, which I'll save for last. So let's get underway. Let's start with the band Face Yourself. Their EP, Tales of Death, is definitely my favorite of theirs. They've released 3 EPs this year. This band has just grown like crazy. I've watched them go from basically being completely unknown to having quite the fan base. They're all over the internet. This band is working hard. They're producing great music. They're not the most complicated band out there, but they got awesome riffing going on. I'm definitely a slam fan, so they're definitely a mix of deathcore and slam. I just love what they're doing, and I've actually had the opportunity to chat with a few of the members from the band, and they all seem like great human beings, very down to earth, very appreciative of their fans. I just think these guys are great and I love what they're doing, and I will definitely follow them in the future. I recommend you go check them out. Give them some support. Next up on the list is the band Stillbirth with their album Homo Deus. I've listened to this a bunch this year. It's definitely sick. It's brutal. These guys label themselves as brutal surf death metal, so I think that suits very nicely. If you've watched any of these guys' videos, they have a great sense of humor. Their videos are a ton of fun, and their music is absolutely brutal and punishing. It's very slamming. I definitely enjoy these guys. Again, I like this slam style a lot. It makes you want to headbang and just rock the hell out, and these guys do a fantastic job of it. I've definitely listened to this album a ton this year. I love what they're doing, and I look forward to more from this band. So if you haven't heard them, check them out. Support them if you enjoy them. Next up on the list, death metal legend Suffocation with their album Hymns from the Apocrypha. Now, I'm a longtime Suffocation fan, so there's definitely some bias here for sure. In fact, I think Suffocation was probably the very first brutal death metal band that I ever heard with their album Pierce from Within, which happens to be one of my all-time favorite albums. No doubt because it is one of the first albums I heard, but just amazing songwriting. And this new album is no different. I must admit, going into it, I was a little worried because Frank Mullen, the original vocalist, was not present on this. However, Ricky, who has taken his place, did a fantastic job, and in fact sounds a lot like Frank from like the album Effigy of the Forgotten or something like that, but he sounds great. His nuances are fantastic. Everything works. This 100% sounds like Suffocation. And Hymns from the Apocrypha is probably my favorite album to come out from these guys in the last decade. I think it's absolutely killer from start to finish. Very technical, but we have these awesome killer slam moments that probably just about every slam band owes something to this band. They really were the originators of this sound. But yeah, this was fantastic. The riffing is great like always. They bring the technicality, they bring the catchiness, they bring the brutality. It's Suffocation through and through, and I'm here for it. I'm loving it. If you're not familiar with these guys, go take a listen, see what you think. If you enjoy them, once again, support them. Next up on the list is Dying Fetus with their album Make Them Beg for Death. Again, there's probably some bias here. I'm a longtime Dying Fetus fan. I've been a fan of these guys since the mid-90s. I first heard the song Eviscerated Offspring, which comes off of their first album, and then my buddy bought the album Purification Through Violence, which instantly became a classic for me. I still listen to that album despite its poor production, but the songwriting is killer on it. Just great songs, absolutely killer stuff, and this album is nothing less than that. I really love what they did with this new album. It's a nice conglomeration of everything the band is all about. Again, they're bringing those sick grooves. We got awesome riffs in there. It's very catchy. Makes you want to headbang and thrash out. Again, these guys kind of carry the slam torch a little bit. So this is just great stuff through and through. Loving this album. I think it's one of their best in years. So once again, if you're familiar with these guys, keep supporting them. If you're not, check them out. See what you think. If you enjoy them, give them some love. Definitely a killer album from start to finish, and I very much enjoyed the videos they put out for this. I will definitely continue to check these guys out in the future. Absolutely killer album. Now, for my number 1 spot for 2023 for Album of the Year. Now, you could probably guess this. I did give you guys a little bit of a hint, and I have actually mentioned this in my reaction videos in the past, so I was correct in my prediction, and that is the band Mental Cruelty. Their album's Village is absolutely perfect from start to finish. I absolutely love it. I don't think there's been a day since its release that I haven't at least listened to a few songs off of the album. I absolutely love this album. I think it's amazing from start to finish. The melodies in this are fantastic. The sickness is great. I love the blackened elements of this. It's just a nice mix of everything that I enjoy about extreme music. I think Lucas is an amazing addition as a vocalist to this band. He really brings another element. And it's funny, when I first saw the video for Village / Symphony of a Dying Star, I was not impressed at all. In fact, I was quite turned off by this because the clean vocals just took me out of it. I was like, oh man, Mental Cruelty just ruined themselves. And honestly, I dismissed it immediately. Then for some reason, I went back and listened again. And then I found myself going, I kind of like this. And then I was talking to my friend who kind of had the same opinion. And again, I was like, you know what? I'm kind of warming up to this. And he's like, really? And I was like, yeah. And then he listened some more and he's like, yeah, it's really not bad at all. And then I listened again. And then it really just started to grow on me. And again, you guys know that I'm not a big fan of clean vocals in extreme music, but there is an exception. And it is especially with black metal stuff. I enjoyed these kind of Viking, pagan, folk kind of clean vocals that take place. And that's basically what we're getting here. And despite the fact that this shouldn't matter, I was a little offended by the fact that we were getting a new vocalist and now suddenly there was cleans being incorporated. But the moment that I found out that it was the guitarist doing the clean vocals, that actually helped a little bit. And I know that's stupid. It shouldn't matter whatsoever, but it did make a difference for me. And I have actually warmed up to these clean vocals. I think they're very well done. I think they mix in the music very nicely. And everything about this album is absolutely killer. In fact, I'm going to see these guys in February. I'm sure it's going to be an absolutely killer show. And we're having the opportunity to meet the band. So that's going to be cool as hell. I can't wait. Again, I've listened to this album nonstop since its release. I think it's great. It's exactly what I want from this band. So I hope they don't change their sound too much in the future because what they're doing right now is perfect. This is great. If you haven't listened to them, I recommend you go check them out. See what you think. Once again, make your own decision. If you enjoy them, support them like any band that you enjoy. But yeah, take this all with a grain of salt. These are purely my opinions. These are the albums I focused on this year, not because they're necessarily the best, the most technical, the best played, anything like that. It's just my personal opinion, what I've put the most time into. There was lots of great albums this year. I definitely enjoyed New Crown Magnetar, Signs of the Swarm. There's so many good releases this year that it's not fair to really make a top 5 list, but everybody's doing it, so I'm jumping on the bandwagon. What can I say? So there we have it. That's my top 5 for 2023. Lots of great releases this year. Looking forward to what 2024 brings. And once again, thank you guys so much for your support. I appreciate it very much. I hope 2024 has great things in store for all of you. Hope you have a wonderful day, everybody. And if you have a moment to help support this channel and you haven't subscribed yet, please do that. Impale the like button. And if you'd like to get our future updates, then stab the notification bell down below for that. And don't forget about those socials down below. Happy holidays, everybody, and Happy New Year. Stay sick.